At 9:47 p.m., while I was poring over financial reports in my home office, an Instagram alert popped up. My sister, Elena, had tagged me in a post celebrating the latest milestone of her boutique chain. The image captured her snipping a ribbon at the grand opening of her 7th store, flanked by local officials and fashion industry leaders. Her caption declared, "Success is a family trait. So thankful for this journey and everyone who's supported Elena's boutiques since the start. Some are destined to create empires. Flex bicep sparkles, hashtag entrepreneur vibes, hashtag family legacy, hashtag not everyone." Comments were flooding in, praise from fashion influencers, accolades from business advisors, and regrettably, a few family members hinting that some inherit the entrepreneurial spark while others don't. My cousin Ashley commented, "So inspiring." Smiling face with hard eyes, unlike some who settle for regular jobs, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy, face with tears of joy. I scrolled through 47 comments before finding Elena's reply to Ashley. "Thanks, love." You know how it goes. Some chase dreams and make things happen, while others stick to the security of a steady salary. Both have their place, face-blowing kiss. The post had already racked up 532 likes. I added my own comment. "Absolutely. Congrats on all you've achieved." Party popper then, I opened my encrypted messaging app and sent a note to Patricia Morrison, my corporate accountant, begin terminating all partnership agreements with Elena's Boutiques LLC, effective immediately. Withdraw the full $75 million in invested capital. Process this first thing Monday. Patricia replied swiftly. "Are you sure about the timing? The boutiques are thriving and Q4 is their peak season. This could cause major cash flow problems." I responded, "I'm certain." Also, end the commercial lease guarantees and cancel the credit line. Complete financial disconnection. She wrote back, "Understood. This will likely force emergency restructuring. Should I prepare documents for the shell companies too?" "Yes," I replied. "Full withdrawal from Trinity Holdings, Cascade Investments, and Meridian Capital from all of Elena's ventures." Patricia confirmed, "I'll have everything ready by 9 a.m. Monday. Be warned, this will likely spark panic when it hits their books." I set my phone down and returned to my reports. Elena's boutiques was indeed flourishing, as Patricia noted. Revenue up 340% in 3 years, solid profit margins, and a strong expansion plan. By any metric, it was a triumph. But what Elena didn't know was that her empire was built on my anonymous funding. Every store opening, every marketing push, every piece of inventory, all traced back to my investments through shell companies. The irony stung as I read her post, liked by hundreds who unknowingly celebrated my capital, while Elena subtly mocked me for lacking her entrepreneurial flair. Growing up, Elena was the family's shining star, selling bracelets in middle school, running a thriving babysitting business in high school, and launching an online boutique in college. Everyone saw her as the destined mogul. I, on the other hand, was the studious one, strong grades, a practical finance degree, and a reputation as the dependable worker bee. The family narrative was clear. Elena was the bold visionary, and I was the cautious plotter. What they didn't see was that I'd used my finance expertise to build a massive portfolio. While Elena launched her first boutique with a $15,000 parental loan, I earned my first million through savvy investments in emerging markets. By the time she opened her second store, I was managing $50 million in assets. When Elena needed major capital to scale, I had the means to support her, and I wanted to because she was my sister and her plans were sound. So, I set up Trinity Holdings LLC as her silent investor. Elena thought she'd wowed elite financiers with her pitches. She didn't know she was pitching to my shell companies. Over 3 years, I funneled $75 million into her boutiques, financing equipment, leases, expansions, inventory, and marketing. Her genius was propped up by my capital, though she never knew. But that Instagram post shifted something in me. Elena wasn't just celebrating her success. She was wielding it to belittle family members she deemed less driven, especially me. Over the weekend, I reviewed my investments in family ventures, $45 million in my brother Marcus restaurant chain, $23 million in my cousin Derek's tech startup, $67 million in my uncle's real estate projects, and more, totaling over $230 million. All while they viewed me as the family's safe, uninspired sibling. Monday dawned chilly and overcast. By 7:30 a.m., I was in my office, reviewing Patricia's meticulous paperwork. Termination notices, capital withdrawal forms, lease guarantee cancellations, and credit line closures. At 9 a.m., I greenlit the transfers. Elena's first voicemail came at 10:23 a.m. Hey, hope your Monday's off to a great start. Quick question. Do you know anything about investment firms? I'm getting weird calls from our financial partners, and I thought your accounting know-how might help me sort it out. Call me. Her tone was still cheerful, confident. She thought this was a minor glitch her practical sister could fix. By 11:47 a.m., she called again. Okay, this is getting strange. Trinity Holdings just ended our partnership completely. They're demanding their $75 million back. Like, now. That's not normal, right? Something's off. Call me ASAP. Her voice carried a hint of worry. By 1:15 p.m., 6 more voicemails charted her descent from confusion to panic. All 3 investors pulled out. All on the same day. That's not random. Someone's targeting my business. I need to know who's behind this and why they want to ruin me. At 2:30 p.m., my assistant buzzed. Miss Rodriguez, your sister Elena is here. She says it's urgent. I glanced up from my screen, where I was exploring sustainable fashion investments. Send her in. Elena stormed in, frazzled, hair messy, makeup smudged, clutching a folder like a lifeline. Thank God you're here, she gasped, rushing to my desk. Someone's trying to sabotage my business. I pointed to the chair opposite me. Sit. Tea. Tell me what's going on. She collapsed into the seat, spreading documents across my desk. Financials, termination notices, legal papers, all branded with Trinity Holdings, Cascade Investments, and Meridian Capital logos. All my investors bailed, she said, voice trembling. $75 million. Gone, just like that. They're demanding immediate repayment, canceling leases, and pulling credit lines. My accountant says I'll be bankrupt in 30 days. I picked up the Trinity Holdings notice and scanned it. Patricia's work was flawless, every detail airtight. This says they're exercising their right to withdraw capital with 30 days notice, I said. That's standard for investment contracts. Standard? Elena's voice rose. There's nothing standard about 3 investors teaming up to tank a thriving business. Someone's orchestrating this. Someone wants to hurt me. I met her gaze. What makes you think someone's out to get you? She pulled out her phone, scrolling to her Friday post. I posted about the new store, about family success, and then, bam, Monday, it all crumbles. Someone saw that post and decided to take me down. I glanced at the post, still gaining traction. Who would want to do that? I don't know, she said, spiraling. A competitor? Someone jealous of my success. Someone who thinks I don't deserve what I've built. I leaned forward. In your post, you said success runs in the family, but not everyone. Who were you talking about? Elena frowned, confused. It was just a general comment about how some people are entrepreneurial and others aren't. But you tagged me. Yeah, because you're family. I always tag family in my business posts. And then you commented about dreamers and doers versus those who choose steady paychecks. She shifted, uneasy. I was just chatting with Ashley about family dynamics. Were you talking about me? Elena hesitated, sensing the question's weight. I mean, you do lean toward stability. That's not a bad thing. It's just who you are. Is it? I opened my laptop and turned it toward her, displaying my investment portfolio dashboard. $892 million in assets across tech startups, real estate, global markets, and more. Elena stared, stunned. What is this? My investment portfolio. She leaned closer, scanning the figures, millions in holdings across diverse sectors. This says you manage $800 million, she whispered. Assets under management, I corrected. My personal net worth is around $430 million. Her face cycled through shock, disbelief, and realization. The shell companies, she said slowly. Trinity Holdings, Cascade Investments, Meridian Capital, they're yours. They are. You've been funding my business for 3 years, $75 million. Correct. She sank back, staring at me like I was a stranger. Why? Why invest in my boutiques without telling me? Because I believed in your vision and wanted to help my sister succeed. Then why pull out now? Why destroy everything I've built? I pulled up her Instagram post. Read your caption again. She scanned it, puzzled. I don't get it. You posted about an expansion I funded, then used it to mock family members you think are less accomplished. I wasn't targeting anyone specifically. You tagged me, then commented about dreamers versus those who choose safety. You meant me. Her tone turned defensive. I was just talking about personality types. Risk takers versus those who play it safe. It wasn't personal. Elena, you built an empire with my money, then used it to proclaim your superiority over family members like me, who you think lack ambition. She looked at the termination notices, then back at me. I didn't know it was your money, she said softly. Would that have changed anything? She paused, then admitted, I don't know. If you'd known your risk-averse sister funded your entire business, would you have posted about success skipping some family members? Probably not. Would you have contrasted dreamers with those who choose safety? No, so your willingness to belittle family members depended on thinking you succeeded on your own. Her shoulders slumped. When you say it like that, it sounds awful. It was awful, I said. You used success I enabled to elevate yourself above the person who made it possible. Elena buried her face in her hands. I had no idea. I thought sophisticated investors backed me because of my vision. You were backed by a sophisticated investor who believed in you. Me. So what now? She asked, voice muffled. Do I lose everything? Do the boutiques shut down? Bankruptcy. I considered her question. Her business was solid, great locations, strong branding, loyal customers. It only lacked the capital I'd withdrawn. That depends, I said. She looked up. On what? On whether you've learned from this. I've learned I'm an ungrateful jerk who insulted the person funding my life. I shook my head. That's not the lesson. I want you to see that success isn't just about talent or hard work. It's about support systems, capital, family, and factors successful people often overlook. She nodded slowly. I want you to realize that when you use your success to make others feel small, you're ignoring the help you got. Okay. And I want you to think about how you'll treat people differently if you get a second chance. Elena sat quietly, processing. Finally, she said, if I got another chance, I'd never post like that again. I'd be more careful about how I talk about success. I'd acknowledge that my achievements aren't just mine. What about family members who aren't entrepreneurs? I'd respect that everyone has different strengths and versions of success. I wouldn't assume business ownership is the only path. And those who choose stability over risk. I'd see there's wisdom in both, and my risk-taking was easier because I had backing. I opened a new document and started typing. I'm offering a new investment deal, $50 million to restructure your debt and keep operations running. Her eyes widened. Really? With conditions. I showed her the draft. First, publicly acknowledge that your success was built on anonymous family investment from someone who believed in you early on. She nodded. I can do that. Second, use your platform to celebrate other family members' achievements, Marcus Restaurant Awards, Derek's tech breakthroughs, our uncle's community projects. Of course. Third, launch a mentorship program through your boutiques, partnering with local colleges and vocational schools to offer internships and business training for those without access to entrepreneurial networks. She read the document closely. This isn't just financial terms. You're asking me to rethink success and how I use my platform. I'm asking you to remember that privilege carries responsibility. If you agree, we'll restructure as a true partnership. You'll know where the money comes from, have a say in financial decisions, and see that our successes are linked. Elena walked to my office window, gazing at the city skyline where her boutique signs glowed. I built something real, she said softly. Even with help I didn't know about, I built something real. You did. The question is what you'll build next and how you'll use it. She turned to me. I want to sign the agreement, funding, conditions, partnership, all of it. I want to do this right. I printed the document and handed her a pen. She signed without hesitation. One more thing, I said, taking out my phone. Delete your Friday post. Elena opened Instagram, found the post, now at 587 likes, and deleted it. Now post something new, I said. Something that shows what you've learned. She thought for a moment, then typed. After a few minutes, she showed me. Remove my last post because it didn't reflect the gratitude I owe to everyone who made Elena's boutiques possible. Success isn't just personal effort. It's built on family, mentors, investors, employees, and communities who believe in you before you believe in yourself. Thankful for everyone who's part of this journey, especially those I didn't fully appreciate until now. Hashtag gratitude, hashtag community success, hashtag family support. Post it, I said. She hit share and looked at me. Are we okay? As sisters? We're better than okay, I said. We're partners now. Elena smiled for the first time since arriving. Partners? I like that. Over the next week, Elena followed through. Her post shifted to celebrate community and family, Marcus Restaurant Award, Derek's app launch, our uncle's housing project. She announced the mentorship program and began partnering with schools. Most importantly, she stopped using her success to diminish others. The new partnership thrived. Elena ran operations while I guided financial strategy. Revenue rose 23% the next quarter, boosted by positive publicity from the mentorship and community efforts. But the real shift was in our family. Elena's new approach made room for everyone's contributions. Marcus shared his culinary wins, Derek his tech innovations, and I even mentioned my investments occasionally. 6 months later, Elena's anniversary post captured the change. A year ago, I thought success was about outshining others. Now, I know it's about lifting them up. Elena's Boutiques thrives because of family, community, and lessons from those who showed me business is about service, not superiority. Thankful for every lesson, especially the tough ones. Hashtag community success, hashtag family business, hashtag grateful heart. The post gained over 1,000 likes and comments from customers, family, and partners. But what mattered most was that Elena had learned to use her platform to uplift rather than divide. Success does run in families, but only when we recognize it belongs to everyone. And hey, if you enjoyed this story, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more.